The diner smelled of fresh coffee and fried eggs, just another ordinary morning in small-town America. At the corner booth sat Jack Harris, a quiet single dad and veteran, his broad shoulders hunched as he poured syrup over a short stack of pancakes for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. His calloused hands trembled ever so slightly, a reminder of battles fought long before she was born. Jack wore a faded hoodie with the sleeves pushed up, and just beneath the skin of his forearm, barely visible, was a tattoo, a black dagger entwined with wings. To most, it meant nothing. But to those who knew, it was the silent mark of Delta Force, the elite of the elite. But Jack wasn't thinking about war this morning. He was thinking about rent, Lily's school project, and how to stretch the last $20 in his wallet. That's when the diner door slammed open. A man stormed in, loud, brash, the type who fed on attention. He was built like a brawler, tattoos crawling up his neck, and a pack of buddies followed him, laughing at every crude joke. The waitress stiffened, the cook cursed under his breath, but nobody said a word. This wasn't the first time these men had swaggered in and taken what they wanted. The leader's eyes landed on Jack's booth. On Lily. On the stack of pancakes. He sneered. Well, well. Look who we got here. Soldier boy playing daddy in a diner. Jack ignored him. He cut Lily's pancakes into small bites, placing extra syrup on the side just the way she liked it. But the bully wasn't the type to be ignored. He stomped over, leaned across the booth, and knocked Jack's coffee onto the floor. You hear me, hero? I said something. Jack's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. Lily's eyes filled with worry, her small hand gripping his. And then it happened. The bully slapped Jack across the face. The sound cracked through the diner like a gunshot. Gasps filled the air. The waitress froze. Lily whimpered. Jack didn't move. He simply placed his napkin down, wiped the syrup from his fingers, and kissed Lily's forehead. But as he adjusted his sleeve, the tattoo on his arm came into full view. The black dagger. The wings. The bully's laughter faltered. One of his friends, eyes wide, grabbed his arm. Bro, stop. Do you know what that is? What? The bully scoffed. That mark. That's Delta Force. That's not just Army. That's the kind of man they call when everything goes to hell. The diner went silent. The bully's grin cracked. His friends were already backing toward the door. But Jack wasn't looking at them. He was looking at Lily, steady, calm, as if nothing else in the world mattered. Finally, Jack spoke, his voice low but steady. I don't fight for pride. Not anymore. I fight for her. And men like you? You're not worth the scars I already carry. The bully swallowed hard, his bravado collapsing. He muttered something under his breath, then turned and bolted, his crew scrambling after him. For a moment, the diner was still. Then the cook let out a long whistle. The waitress rushed over, refilling Jack's coffee with trembling hands. But Jack just smiled at Lily. See? Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is choose peace. Tears welled in Lily's eyes, but this time, they were happy ones. She hugged him tightly, whispering, You're my hero, Dad. And in that booth, surrounded by strangers who suddenly saw him not as a quiet man but as something far greater, Jack realized something. His battles weren't behind him. They were here. In every moment he chose love over violence, fatherhood over fury, peace over war. The diner slowly came back to life. Conversations picked up, hushed at first, but all eyes kept drifting to the quiet man in the corner booth and his daughter. An older gentleman, wearing a worn-out Vietnam veteran cap, stood from his seat. He walked over slowly, leaning on his cane. His voice trembled with age but carried weight. Son, I recognized that tattoo the second you walked in. I wore the uniform too. You did right. Don't ever think walking away makes you weak. Jack nodded respectfully. The two veterans shared a silent moment, an understanding only those who had walked through fire could truly know. The waitress, her eyes misty, placed a plate of warm pie on the table in front of Lily. On the house, she whispered. For the bravest dad I've ever met. Lily's face lit up. She took a bite and giggled, the sound breaking the tension in the room. For Jack, that laughter was worth more than medals, more than recognition, more than revenge could ever give. But something unexpected happened next. A young man who had been sitting at the counter, skinny, nervous, maybe 19 at most, approached Jack. He carried a notepad filled with scribbles. "Sir," he stammered, "I'm shipping out next month. Army Basic. I didn't think I was ready. But seeing how you handled yourself just now, without violence, without needing to prove anything, made me realize what kind of soldier I want to be. What kind of man I want to be."